Live. Okay, we are now live. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, to the very first podcast of BitTube.tv, where you can get paid in Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Dogecoin for sharing videos such as this one. You see all the tip buttons down here on the bottom, and those go boom right to, in this case, my address within 60 seconds. So this is really good service. I have with me today a guy named Joe. And he is the creator of this idea called Dogecoin on the moon.
This is correct, Andrew. How you doing today?
Hey, not too bad, man. Glad you're here today. So I started up BitTube.tv like 2 weeks ago and did this Acts of Shybness thing, which is a whole other podcast. But you put up a video, and you correct me if I'm wrong. You've been trying to get this idea started for quite some time, and you've got like 3 million out of 11 million Dogecoin raised.
Yeah, this is correct. I have been working on this project ever since December of 2014 is when I came up with the idea.
Wow. Okay.
I really wanted to just do something for the Dogecoin community. I'd been a passive member for quite a while, and really ever since the coin was incepted, I just always thought it was extremely awesome, the community fantastic, and I kind of wanted to give back in a way and make my own footprint in the Dogecoin community at the same time. And so we've been around for about four and a half months now. We're finally up and running. It took me a while to get the site up and get the word out, but we've been making some great progress. We are at 3 million out of 11 million. 11 million Doge in the beginning was about $1,600, which is what we needed to fund the project. However, the market is constantly fluctuating, and 11 million Doge is no longer enough, as somebody recently pointed out on a Reddit post that was recently made. And, I've thought about this. I've thought about raising the amount. I've thought about, just fluctuating along with the price. But I think that people might get a little discouraged by that fact. And I figured, maybe I could make up the difference. It's going to be a couple million Doge, but that turns out to be a couple $100. It's not unfathomable, but I think it's something that I could do because I'm dedicated to seeing this project through and through.
Yeah, well, as it stands right now, about $100 will buy you 1 million coins right now.
That sounds about right.
Sounds about right. So yeah, I mean, you're talking about almost $1,000 for you to complete your goal. So the aim of this podcast. Okay, so actually, what I was talking about was I have seen your Dogecoin on the moon for a couple months, like about 4 months. I saw it and I was like, oh yeah, cool. We'll put a thing on the moon. And I honestly did not read. I mean, it's the internet. I didn't read anything that you were posting on Reddit and stuff, right? I mean, I'm a marketing shy myself. I'm trying to get stuff done, but I thought, hey, that's a cool idea, and I sort of saw it up, and then it went nowhere pretty much. 3 million is an incredible amount that you've raised. So when I saw your video on BitTube, I was like, oh, okay, I gotta start this podcast thing, and get you on here. So we've talked about the financial position that your goal is in, but what is Dogecoin on the moon?
So from a very high level, just a brief overview of Dogecoin on the moon, we are going to mint a coin that has never been made before. We want to have a very special model set up there, and we're going to go along with one of Google X's teams, Astrobotic. Astrobotic is a team that's going to send up a lunar lander late 2016, and they are essentially selling space on their lander. And you pay for space based upon the weight and size of the object you're sending up. And for a coin that will be minted pretty soon, once we get to our halfway mark, actually, it's going to be minted. It's going to be about $1,660. That is the original goal of Dogecoin on the moon. And I've already talked to a couple of different people at the team on Astrobotic. They're happy to have us on board and raising funds for the project. They recently did a Twitter post about us. I believe I've linked it to a couple of different updates that I've done on Reddit.
We will definitely get that tweet retweeted a lot.
All right, yeah, and I can send you the link, or we
Please
can post
do,
it in the comments here.
Yep.
And yeah, that's just a brief overview of how we're going to get it done.
Okay, cool. So you're working directly with who's it, Google?
Yeah, Google X has a side project called, or a side company called Astrobotic, and they are the ones creating the lunar lander and selling space in this project called Moon Mail.
Moon Mail.
Correct.
That, you know what? Like, hearing about that, I mean, it makes a lot of sense for Dogecoin to get behind it in terms of hype. Now, so you must be involved in sort of sciencey stuff yourself. What is it that you do? Or are you
Like
just
for
an
a living.
enthusiast? Well, I kind of assume, I don't know, you just have the aura of some sort of space scientist about you.
Yeah, you know, I've always just kind of have a deep, fond love for anything tech or science related.
Right.
You know, I love astronomy and space in general. Carl Sagan and Neil
Oh
deGrasse
yeah.
Tyson are just personal heroes, and you know, just anything about space fascinates me. And when I was coming up with this idea to put a Dogecoin on the moon, you know, I just really wanted to work on a side project or a hobby that you know, brought together all of my loves. And
Right.
space was one of those, Dogecoin was another, and it just seemed like such a great idea to marry the two.
Right. Yeah. Okay, cool. So, I guess the big thing is right now. So what I do is not only am I a computer programmer, but I'm a marketer as well. And I've been looking at the like, you know, the price of Dogecoin is down a little bit, but now it's back up. I don't know. It was like 2 weeks ago, Dogecoin was dead. That was a big thing. And then basically it dropped by $2 million in the market cap. And a week later, it came right back up. So it got me interested. I just wanted to dig into the statistics of Dogecoin and compare that to like Litecoin and Bitcoin. Because I mean, Bitcoin went through a big, you know, drop last year itself.
Very
Um,
true.
and it's definitely you know, you can see in the Reddit stats that the post counts and the subscribers, it's all down, and it's been happening for about 8 months. It's just all on a downhill trajectory, and you know, that seems concerning at first. But then I compared it to Litecoin and Bitcoin, who have the exact same trends in Reddit traffic. Now they get more page views, like it's more active, but we are just as active for the size of our community. So that makes me believe that people are still out there and people still care. And that you know, that's what I'm trying to do with the acts of shyness thing, is start to go like viral with some of this stuff. And that's why I think that what you're doing is so good for Dogecoin, because hey, you know what? Maybe this is it for Dogecoin. Maybe this is the end. We should go out with a bang and stick a Dogecoin on the moon. Be like, we did it, man. We only lasted 2 years, but we had a goal from the beginning to get to the moon, and you were the guy who organized that and made that happen. So I'm going to get this message out to as many people as I can, and it's going to be fantastic. So I'm going to put a link to the BitTube post that you originally got my interest in. And
Awesome.
I am going to send 150,000 Dogecoin to you right now.
Fantastic. Thank you, Andrew. Yeah, you know, the Dogecoin community, the Litecoin community, and the Bitcoin community are all so closely tied together. You know, ever since Bitcoin's kind of had its bubble pop, it went up to about $1,000 per Bitcoin, and now it's down to something like $200 per Bitcoin. And all these cryptocurrencies are really closely tied together at this point in time. So if one does bad, the others are not going to fare so well.
I agree.
Especially since Bitcoin is the flagship cryptocurrency at this point in time. You know, I was really into the Bitcoin community, but I've since just transferred all my Bitcoins out and gone completely Doge. But that's not to say that one is better than the other. I think that we're all in the same boat. And if Dogecoin is, going to fizzle out into nothing, I think that, puts Litecoin into jeopardy. That might even put Bitcoin into a bit of a precarious position.
Yeah.
So I don't see Dogecoin kind of fizzling out and dying in the near future. But, I think it is something that we should be worried about. And that's kind of why I wanted to rejuvenate the community, get us investing in something that puts us on, the radar, so to speak, get new sites interested in us, gets people thinking about cryptocurrency as a whole, and hopefully brings the every community more adopters. That would be great.
I just had a good idea, or an idea here. So you say you need about 1,660, is it US dollars?
Correct, yeah.
1,660 US dollars. So I wonder, how many people it would take, because I think tomorrow this whole moon pledge thing is happening, which is everybody buys $1 worth of Dogecoin per day, and that's
true.
Sort of inflating the economy. So I wonder if we could steal that thunder type thing, and that Dogecoin that you buy, you spend it on actually going to the moon, or maybe half of it, and how many people that would take to sort of commit to this project. So
that's a good idea. I've actually spoken to the creator of that project, and he loves the idea of Dogecoin on the moon. I haven't spoken to him specifically about having people donate to Dogecoin on the moon with their to the moon pledge, but it seems like that would be something very logical, something that somebody should have come up with before, and you might have been the first, Andrew.
Well, like you, I started this whole BitTube, BitGamer, and I just launched another website called technewsia.com, and it's for content, people who blog and stuff, so they can create a blog post and they get the same buttons on the bottom. And the whole reason that I've started this was because Dogecoin was in trouble. It's this amazing thing. We sent people to the Olympics, and we've done so much with the coin, and what, it's just gonna disappear? Like, this idea is gonna disappear because the funding isn't there, and that's what really urged me to get going on this stuff. So I came out with these sites, and now you and I are talking, and I'm hoping we get at least 1,000 people to view this. And I know they're out there. I've got all the traffic stats. I do this all for a living, right? So some of the sites that I work on that aren't mine, we get 1 million page views in a month, and they're kind of boring. I can't believe that much traffic gets put onto it, and so far we it's been no problem at all to put 1,000 people a day through the BitTube site, and this is just beginning. I mean, right now I'm catering specifically just to Dogecoiners on Reddit. I'm expanding the Twitter portfolio, and then I'm going to go hardcore after Litecoin and Bitcoin to get involved with this kind of stuff, because we are in the same boat together. Whether you go out to the mall and you meet somebody, I mean, if people ask me, I just got a haircut actually, and she goes, my barber, she goes, what do you do for a living? I'm like, oh, I have a Bitcoin company.
What'd she say?
Nothing. She was like, yeah, okay, just cut my hair. Actually, I bought an Oculus Rift off a guy, and he was a tech guy, and I said, we got on to talking about Reddit or whatever, and I mentioned Dogecoin, and he goes, oh, I thought that was a joke, I thought that was over. So that's still a hurdle that we got to get over. So I dropped the Dogecoin thing, and I start talking directly about Bitcoin, and even that is met with oh, isn't that hokey pokey? I heard that it's worth nothing anymore. So we have this really bad brand reputation, and it's just a brand reputation. It's not true. It's just the reputation that is perceived. So I think if we could get everybody in on this. Like, how cool would it be? Like, you need $1,600 worth of Dogecoin to do this, but I mean, what if a guy dropped a Bitcoin on you?
You know what? That would just be huge for us.
That would be a huge thing, right? And there's a lot of people out there doing it. So we are all in the boat together. If a Bitcoin helped Dogecoin, Dogecoin will help Bitcoin. I mean, I remember about 6 months ago, it was explained that Bitcoin was first, and then it had a child, and that was Litecoin. And then Litecoin had a child, which is Dogecoin. So Bitcoin is Dogecoin's grandfather in a way. So I mean, it's all the same technology. It's all the same thing. I mean, Bitcoin's great for like buying a car with. You can spend 1,000 Bitcoin, you can get this car. Litecoin, I mean, they're worth like $1.50 or no, $2.
No, it was about $1.45 last time I checked.
Right. Okay. But then like Dogecoin's worth intrinsically nothing.
Yeah.
To have
fractions
one
of a penny.
So, but that's what formed its market. Is it's good for tipping 100 Dogecoin. Actually, 1,000 Dogecoin is 10 cents. So it really makes sense. So I believe that these three currencies are going to be here to stay, and it's up to you, like people like you and I, to really get out there and spread the message of this thing and get it going, because everybody wants it to work, but nobody's willing to put in the legwork. And I think only in the dying days, the last days, do we really get out there and create these systems and really, we can't let it fail. So I'm really excited to have you here, and we'll get this message out, man, and we have to put this on the moon.
We got to do it, man.
It's got to get done.
It's such an attainable goal. $1,600, it might seem like a lot, but we're already almost a third of the way there, essentially.
Yeah.
And heck, if the price of Dogecoin keeps on going up as it has been recently,
yeah, it really has.
We're just gonna get even closer, even quicker. We have plenty of time to reach the goal. We've got about a year, and
when is the due date for this whole thing?
Astrobotic has contacted me, and they've let me know that they're going to be launching late 2016. I believe it's fall of 2016.
Okay.
So we've got about a year.
Okay. Do you have a specific date that you need to have the funds by?
Just before they launch, I believe.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
And we've got to give them enough time for me to mail it to them. But, they don't have a firm date yet. So I have not been able to put a firm, fund by date on there.
Okay.
But,
so late 2016 is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm in the mood, like, we got to get this done tomorrow.
Hell yes.
What I mean? Like, we can't wait another year to go by before we're like, oh yeah, that moon thing. We've got the hype now. It's got to happen now. So viewers, if you are a Dogecoiner and you're viewing this, there's a button right here, unless it's backwards, then it's right here. But there's buttons all right here. Click the buttons, okay? We've been open here at BitTube for 3 weeks. We've had over 2.2 million Dogecoin go through this website. Now, that being said, there is some guy out there, and if it's Robin Scheib or whoever, I don't know, but there's a guy dropping serious Dogecoin through this site, and it's exciting. It's cool. So, I mean, let's get this thing to the moon. Imagine the hype that would come out of this. It would get back into the news. Like, it would be a news thing. Like, it's Google and like space, and Dogecoin's literally going to the moon. Just think about the investment opportunity that would actually be there. So, in conjunction with the Dogecoin, the Moon Pledge. So this all makes sense. And yes, it's great that I've seen a couple people posting in the subreddit about new goals and crises that we have to get involved with, but we can't anymore because the coin is low in value. So Nepal, the earthquakes happened, and Dogecoin couldn't do anything. We all had the heart. We all wanted to help them, but we were like, here's 3 cents. Rough. So
yeah,
this needs to be the next thing. We need to get the value of the coin up. And Joe's had just the best idea about how to do it. Now we have the means to do it with BitTube. You can fund him directly. You don't have to go to his website if you can't remember what it is. If you're here and you're watching it, donate. Donate now. Do it. Do it now. Have you clicked it yet? You click it now. So, yeah, that's really the who, what, when, where, and why. So, is there anything else that you wanted to say about Dogecoin or to the community, or anything out there?
Definitely, yeah. There's a lot of people that have been kind enough to help me with their time, with their Doge, and just willing to support the project in any way possible. And I want to thank a few people who have helped us get this far. Number one, Roy Zhu. He's been a fantastic just evangelist for the Dogecoin Chinese community. He's been kind enough to help me translate some things into Chinese and reach out to our Chinese Dogecoin, I believe it is, or our Dogecoin Chinese. It's one of the two. But he's been great. Thank you, Roy. We've had other great people like Mr. Dogemeister. He sells the Doge pens on the Dogecoin subreddit. He's been great about promoting on my site, donating, promoting the project itself, and just everyone in the Dogecoin community is so supportive. I know we're going to be able to reach this goal if we all work together. I've been putting forth a ton of time and a ton of effort into making it happen, all for free. I'm not looking to make a quick buck here. I'm not Moolah who's going to run off with his money as soon as he gets it. I've been trying to tie my face, my name, and everything I can to this project so that, if I were to ever run off with the funds, you could find me. You could come to my apartment and just come, get your money, so to speak. But I'm not going to do that. I really want to see this project to the end. I want Dogecoin to have another milestone, whether it's the Jamaican bobsledding team, Doge for Water, or funding Josh Wise's NASCAR, or sponsoring it rather. All amazing feats, and Dogecoin needs to keep it up. Let's keep creating more milestones, and let's aim for the stars.
You bet, man. And hey, you mentioned your website. I remember clicking on that a couple months ago, and I didn't understand what it was. I'm a website guy. I build websites. I went to your website and I didn't get it. And it's totally like a sponsors page, right?
Yeah, it's very similar to.
So what's the URL?
The URL is dogecoinonthemoon.com. No spaces, just all one word. And this is a website that's akin to the $1 Million homepage that came out in like 1999, the year 2000. Essentially, we're selling advertising space in the form of pixels. We sell 10 by 10 pixels at the very smallest size. And anytime you buy this small square of pixels, you're able to link to anything you want, upload an image of anything you want. You can link to your grandma's bakery's website, or you can link to your favorite subreddit. Whatever you want to link, it's up to you. And every single Doge that is raised goes towards Dogecoin on the Moon, and actually putting a physical representation of our cryptocurrency up there on the moon.
So I'm actually looking at it right now, and I hope I'm doing this correctly, but the people who are watching the podcast now should actually see.
I'm seeing a black screen right now with your mouse kind of moving across the screen.
Oh, is it not really working then?
No, I don't think so.
Well, hopefully it works in the end of it. But anyway, folks, if you are watching it, head over to dogecoinonthemoon.com. And, that might have been Monitor, too, that it was on, connected to my Oculus Rift. Bugger. Oh, well.
That could be why.
Oculus is cool, but it's another podcast. So, yeah, I'm definitely... it all makes sense with what you're trying to do, man. So like the idea of Dogecoin on the Moon, and then you go to the website, and like one day in 5 years from now, we're going to look back and we're going to remember the people who helped get Dogecoin on the moon.com. And it's a cool idea. Like who's some of the people we got up here now? We got Script CC. We got a couple. We got CryptoSpout.com. They've been around for a long time. I mean, who are some of your big? Oh yeah, there's the Chinese, Doge Chinese dot. It's a subreddit, Doge Chinese.
Exactly.
Who are some of your big guys here? Well, actually, I can tell by their pixel size. There you go. You want to support Dogecoin? Get over to dogecoinonthemoon.com and buy the biggest, fattest ad space you can get. And there you go, man. You got bragging rights. You're like, yeah, check it out. I put Dogecoin on the moon. Get over there and get some. Sorry, go ahead. Who are some of your biggest?
The website's loading up for me right now. I just wanted to touch upon a point really quickly before it's finished loading here. We receive a decent amount of traffic. Whatever clicks you receive is kind of based upon the size of the space that you purchase. But if we are able to reach our goal, I'm going to keep this website up for the foreseeable future, definitely at least a couple of years. And if we reach the goal, so many people are going to be linked to this website. So many people are going to be seeing your ads, and you'll have that space forever. I'm not going to take space away from anyone or shut down the website. And, if we reach our goal, it's just going to blow up. So all the more reason to get your ad space now, get it while it's hot, so to speak. And, let's make this happen.
Right.
Some of the other big names that we've had on the site, Father Rosato, he's been great about promoting his website and buying multiple ads. I really thank him for that. Mr. Dogemeister's on there. We've got the Cryptotarian, Viridian Forge, Crypto Games. I love playing their Doge dice. Use coins. There's somebody who sells fireworks on the website. People are promoting their iPhone games, text-based games, their YouTube channels, TF2 server. There's just so much on here already.
Hey, you know what? I did the Angry Doge Android game. That's I built that, and I am gonna.
See it.
Yeah, it's fun. It was fun to make, and I got like 200 downloads on it. That sucks.
Nice.
I was upset.
Better than nothing.
It's better than nothing, but I have 20,000 downloads on some of my other apps, so it's Dogecoin surprised me in that, but it's because we have so many Redditors who just lost interest in it. So we need to do this and suck these people back in and get them excited again. So I'm going to buy some ad space from you, and I've got about 6 products, BitTube, Technewsia, BitGamer, Doge, Angry Doge. So I'm going to buy stickers for all those. What's your biggest ad space, or what's the most common one you have there? Like, okay, so if I were to buy some ads from you, what's the hottest product you want people to get? What's your dream? What's your ideal?
My ideal is probably the bigger the better, but
yeah. And what's the biggest one then?
You know what? You can buy. Well, it's tough because everybody's taking up space on different sides of the moon, and you can't buy one huge amount of space. But I guess 100 by 100 pixels is. Let's see.
Oh, you've got the prices listed. Nice.
I do, and they're just just kind of a brief idea as to what it would cost to get X number of pixels.
Right.
So you don't have to actually buy it, or you can just kind of see the prices up front. You can also buy rectangles. You can buy weird shapes, and it'll calculate the price for you. So you've just got to get on there and upload your image and see how much space it takes up, essentially. But the 50 by 50 pixels is one of our more popular sizes that people have been buying. It's about $5 US, or in Dogecoin,
about 50K.
Yeah, about 50K.
But let's see exactly. So I'm using this website that I love, dogepay.com, and it's got like a very quick Doge to US dollar calculator. I go there all the time. So 50,000 Dogecoin is $5.84 in US dollars. So for $6, you can advertise your website or organization as being one of the founding, I guess, I'm going to consider this like founding members time. I mean, the Dogecoin guy, what's his name there? The guy who made the
Jackson
thing?
Palmer.
Jackson Palmer. Like, so he's bailed out of cryptocurrency altogether, I guess. And, this idea has transcended him, but I think we're going to see the new authors and the people who are going to carry the flag forward to the next battlefield. They're going to appear, and I firmly believe that Dogecoin on the moon is the next thing. And by putting your name on that, like, you're establishing yourself as, yeah, I was part of that.
Heck yeah, and I want to add, I brought up this idea to Jackson Palmer before he just kind of did away with all cryptocurrency in his life, and he loved the idea. He's actually got some space on the moon himself. Yeah, he's towards the bottom. He posted a picture of Shiba Inu's face.
Probably for the Dogecoin.com.
Exactly.
Haha, okay.
Yeah. So
all right,
he was on board at the time.
Cool. Well, I'm glad to have him there. It's too bad what happened, but I mean, I understand. I mean, the second you start putting your face out and becoming like a million people know you, like it can you turned into a celebrity, right? Like, it's
definitely.
I don't blame him. Yeah, I mean, and we're next, eh? We're like, okay, fine, we're gonna stick our faces on it, right? Well, people can start. Hang on, I think that's my doorbell. It's some crazy guy dressed up as a dog trying to. I don't know. But that's cool, man. So what you're doing is definitely, out of all the ideas that bounce around, yours is the one that is able to create enough hype to boost the economy of Dogecoin, to get people back and excited. I mean, you mentioned Neil deGrasse Tyson a bit earlier, and he's a big advocate for increasing the NASA budget by even 1%. Would be huge. And that's kind of what we're doing here. It's like, people, take your money and increase the budget so we can get this thing on the moon and see what happens, I mean, there's no guarantee for success, but I mean, people who are sitting on their Dogecoin doing nothing, like, send some. If it's 100 Dogecoin, if it's 1,000, I know there are people who can drop 25K, no problem. So
Definitely.
We can do it. It's definitely out there. So let's stop complaining. Let's stop saying Dogecoin's dead. Get your wallet out and send it to the moon, because it's more than the value. It's about what it does. And the acts of shyness thing, it's just beginning. This is sort of part of it. But what it can do in the future is we can have this great big pay it forward effect, and people will say, why are you doing this? And you just go, it's a Dogecoin thing, an act of shyness. And they'll go, okay, you weirdo. But in a year from now, it could be all over the news, because we're just so giving, and the value won't be important. And I think I don't know who invented the 1 Doge equals 1 Doge thing, but that is, it's so crazy that Dogecoin evolved into this morality, into this philosophy, into this thing. It sucks that we are still tied to the US dollar. We want to go out and we want to help people. It takes money. So the moon pledge, sending it to, everything is lining up. I'm going to go ahead and create some hype right now. If you've been thinking about getting into Dogecoin or making an investment now, like right now, it's May 18th right now, you should get on it, because if we do this, you're going to get left behind. You're going to be sitting there on planet Earth, and we are going to have an actual Dogecoin on the moon, and you won't have any. So why don't you go get some? WeSellDoge.com is by far the best place to get it. I'm going to just fill the bottom of this video with a ton of links to get you going. But now would be the time. What do you think, Joe? Like now would be a good time to get in.
now is certainly the best time to get in. You can get the most bang for your buck, number one.
Right.
And, you know, prices are only going to go up from here to the moon, I certainly hope.
Literally.
And for those people who are kind of holding on to their Dogecoins and hoping that they'll increase in price, you know, maybe to Bitcoin heights, you know, we're never going to get there if people just hold on to their Dogecoin. You know, even if it gets to $1, that would be amazing, but you can't hold on to your Doge. You got to spend it on something that you love, whether it's, you know, Doge treats or Doge stickers, Doge pens, or Doge scratchers. Space on the moon, you got to spend it. And, you know, the currency doesn't work unless people are buying, selling, trading, and mining at the same time. So, you know, get out there, take part in the community, and, you know, make your Dogecoin worth something.
I couldn't agree more, man. And I think it's I think we're pretty much running out of time here. I know you got a busy schedule. I certainly got a busy schedule. I got to go out and start editing this video and get it ready to go and do all that. So I think now's probably a good time to stop. So from all of us, me here at BitTube.tv and TechNewsia and all the other places this is going to go, and on behalf of Dogecoin itself, thank you for being here today. Thank you for sticking your neck out, putting your face to your word, and making this happen. If this works, and it can work, it's going to be huge. And this interview here is going to be just one of those historical points in the currency. And who knows, like, we look back 100 years to what we had for a market, you know, share, like the stock exchange and stuff. Who knows what the next 100 years will be? And this is all going to be available. They're going to be able to come back. And this could, who knows, this video could be the turning point for it all. So thank you for as I'm trying to spread through the acts of shyness, be the change you wish to see in the world. And here you are. So thank you from a million people that can't say it, but thank you so much for doing what you're doing. Brilliant idea, brilliant execution. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, thanks, Andrew. Thank you for taking the time to interview me today. Thanks to everyone who donated, who I might not have mentioned in my podcast today. You know, just thank you to the whole Dogecoin community. We're not going to be able to do this or any other great thing in our future if we don't come together. And you know what? I know we have it in us. So, you know, let's get to the moon.
Okay, man. Thanks a lot, Josh, for your time, and we'll catch you next time.
Sounds good. You have a good day, Andrew.
See you later.